Today in Public Eye News, NMU has a new chairman and the Board of Trustees, and Iron River has a roof collapse.
Later in the show, Ross Ray will have your weather and Devontae Stein will have your sports. Hi, I'm Caleb Rydell.
And I'm Devontae Stein, and welcome to Public Eye News. Steve Mitchell, who graduated from NMU in 1967, was elected to serve as vice chair of the NMU Board of Trustees for 2020. He began his service as a trustee in 2013 and will complete his 8-year term at the end of this year. He graduated from NMU with a dual major in political science, history, and a minor in speech. He received a Distinguished Alumni Award from NMU in 2004. Mitchell says, quote, "To have the opportunity to serve on the Board of Trustees of the university from which I graduated is the greatest honor of my life. Now to be elected chair adds to that honor," unquote. Mitchell is president of the Mitchell Research and Communications Incorporation, a national marketing research, public relations, political consulting company headquartered in East Lansing. He founded the company in 1985 after working on the national staff of Reagan Bush 84. Mitchell adds, quote, "NMU is one of only 2 schools in Michigan to have had a higher enrollment in the fall of 2019 than in the fall of 2018. The other is the University of Michigan, Ann Arbor," unquote. The Stick It To It Cancer Adult Co-ed Hockey Tournament returns for its 4th straight year, February 21st through the 23rd. The tournament raises thousands of dollars for cancer care of Marquette County. Stick It To It Cancer is a fundraiser hosted by Cancer Care of Marquette County. The money goes to supporting families in the community that are fighting cancer. David Poirier, president of Cancer Care, said, quote, "98% of what we raise goes back into the community, as we're all volunteers. Last year we were able to give out the cancer patients of Marquette County about $89,000, unquote. The 3-day event is free and all donations are accepted.
Heavy snow loads have caused the roof of the Habitat for Humanity Restore in Iron River to collapse. The Habitat for Humanity is closing indefinitely after Monday night around 6 p.m. when the roof was reported to have come down. There was worry that the catastrophic collapse could have natural gas leaks and fire potential, so the River North Pub and Grill was closed for 2 hours, and a nearby apartment had residents evacuate for a short period of time. Until the damage of the store is assessed, the store will continue to be closed indefinitely, and donations and purchases will continue through the Kingsford Restore. The Marquette Area Public School Board of Education meeting last night was hijacked by a public comment about the mascot for the Marquette High School, known currently as the Marquette Redmen and Redettes. The change of the name to something less offensive has been in the works for a while. The discussion was not on the agenda for last night's meeting, but was brought up by a public comment and became the subject of the meeting. The majority has voted that the name should be changed, but not by huge margins, so the board wants to work with the community to reach a decision that will work with everyone. There is no date for the expected change, but the community members hope for the change sometime this year.
NASA astronaut Christina Koch, who holds the record for the longest spaceflight by a woman, after almost 11 months in orbit, cannot wait to come home and dig into some salsa and chips and swim in the surf in the Gulf of Mexico. Why chips and salsa? Well, crunchy food like chips are banned on the space station because the crumbs could float away and clog equipment. Christina has been living on the International Space Station since March and returns to Earth on February 6th, landing in Kazakhstan. Right now, 4 men and 2 women are living at the space station. Christina's 328-day mission will be the second longest by an American, trailing Scott Kelly's flight by 12 days. Her biggest surprise is how easily she adapted to weightlessness. She says, quote, "I don't even really realize that I'm floating anymore," unquote. A Florida man who has been repeatedly harassing parents of shooting victims at Sandy Hook Elementary School has been arrested. Wolfgang Halbig, who was 73, was arrested Monday on a charge that he was in unlawful possession of another person's identification, according to the Lake County Sheriff's Office. Several Sandy Hook families have sued Halbig for defamation for falsely claiming that the massacre never happened. The tragic mass shooting back in 2012 left 20 first graders and 6 adults dead at the elementary school. The Orlando Sentinel reports that Halbig continuously emailed several people and law enforcement agencies the social security number, birth date, and other information of Leonard Posner, whose 6-year-old son Noah died in the shooting at Sandy Hook. Posner reported to sheriff officials that Halbig has continued to harass him over the internet since 2018. And after this break, we'll be back with your national and international news.
actor Sigourney Weaver,
It's a very powerful thing. I can feel the energy.
Justina Machado,
I really don't know. I have a blank slate.
and Amy Ryan
I'm English, Polish, and Irish. As a kid, I referred to myself as a mutt.
on Finding Your Roots.
Tonight at 8 on WNMU TV.
Welcome back. A defense official says that the United States has recovered the bodies of 2 American Air Force members who were killed in a crash in Afghanistan. The 2 were the only ones on board when the Air Force E-11A surveillance craft went down on Monday. The identities of the recovered servicemen have not yet been announced pending the notification of their families. The Taliban controls much of the Ghazi Strip, the Ghazi province where the crash occurred. However, the U.S. official claims that the American recovery team met no resistance and the crash site left no indication that the plane was downed by hostiles. The crash was not expected to hinder peace talks between the U.S. and Taliban. And federal investigators are still searching for answers following the devastating helicopter crash that killed retired NBA legend Kobe Bryant, his 13-year-old daughter, and 7 others. Search and rescue teams retrieved 3 bodies from the wreckage yesterday as fans from coast to coast continue to react to the tragedy. Mara in Austin reports from Los Angeles.
Federal investigators are painstakingly examining the massive debris field outside Los Angeles, where the helicopter carrying Kobe Bryant, his daughter Gianna, and several others went down Sunday.
A piece of the tail is down the hill on the left side of the hill. The fuselage is over on the other side of that hill.
The helicopter took off at 9:06 a.m., headed for a basketball tournament in nearby Thousand Oaks, when it ran into thick fog.
2 Echo X-ray, you're still too low level for flight following at this time.
The pilot did not signal distress, but told air traffic controllers he was climbing to avoid a cloud layer before slamming into a hillside. As the investigation continues, thousands of mourners and fans gathered here at the Staples Center, the house that Kobe built.
He was an inspiration to so many, including me. I grew up watching him.
NBA star LeBron James, who recently surpassed Bryant's all-time scoring record, issued this heartfelt post on Instagram, promising to continue his legacy. Maren Austin, CBS News, Los Angeles.
And Prince Andrew faces some increased pressure after U.S. authorities announced he has failed to cooperate with the FBI's investigation into his ties with the deceased sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Andrew stayed shy of the public eye while his legal team maintained a no-comment policy. This goes in spite of a pledge Andrew made in November that he would cooperate with legitimate law enforcement agencies. Virginia Gouffre says after meeting Epstein as a teenager in Florida in 2000, he flew her around the world and pressured her into having sex with numerous older men, including Prince Andrew, 2 senior U.S. politicians, a noted academic, and the attorney Alan Dershowitz, who is now part of President Donald Trump's impeachment defense team. She also stated she had sex with Prince Andrew 3 times. Gouffre claims that she was paid by Epstein for her sexual encounters. New York criminal defense lawyer Ron Kube says, quote, "It's unlikely the prince will ever voluntarily agree to an interview, and the FBI doesn't have the means to force him to. Why would he? The last time he spoke on the topic, he was yanked from public life and universally ridiculed," unquote. The president's legal team wraps up its opening arguments today, but the real battle over whether witnesses will be called to testify in the Senate impeachment trial remains to be settled. Skylar Henry has more details from Capitol Hill.
President Trump's legal team is trying to convince senators the president did nothing wrong when he asked Ukraine to investigate Joe Biden and his son, Hunter.
The transcript shows that the president did not condition either security assistance or a meeting on anything.
But President Trump may have said something different to his former national security advisor, John Bolton. According to the New York Times, Bolton writes in his upcoming book that President Trump directly linked military aid to Ukraine to an investigation into the Bidens. President Trump's attorneys largely ignored the Bolton news until late Monday night.
Nothing in the Bolton revelations, even if true, would rise to the level of an abuse of power or an impeachable offense.
Some Republican senators say the Bolton development increases the chances at least 4 Republicans will vote with Democrats to hear new witnesses.
Each individual is going to make their own decision, and I don't think they're all settled as a group or as individuals as to exactly how they're going to vote. But I'd like to hear from John Bolton.
Pennsylvania Republican Pat Toomey is pushing a witness swap where the GOP will allow John Bolton to testify in exchange for a witness that supports the president's defense. But that plan is already meeting with resistance.
We're not bargaining with them. We want 4 witnesses and 4 sets of documents. Then the truth will come out.
Joe and Hunter Biden remain high on the Republican wish list of witnesses. Skyler Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
And after this break, we'll have your weather and sports. Stay tuned.
Watch exclusive coverage of the State of the State for Governor Gretchen Whitmer on this Michigan public TV station. With the Republican legislature, the Democratic governor lays out her agenda for the new year, including how to fix the roads. See it all live from the House floor, and after the governor's message, get the inside analysis from reporters on what it means to you. The State of the State on Michigan Public TV, where politics is not a word, it's a passion.
Wednesday night at 7 on WNMU TV.
And welcome back to Public Eye News. My name is Ross. Right now I'll be taking you through your weather today. As we look behind me at the Academic Mall, we have some clouds in the sky and snow on the ground. Those clouds will be continuing us for the next few days. Looking at our current conditions, it's cloudy with a temperature of 27 degrees, winds at north at 11 miles per hour, and a barometric pressure of 30.12 and steady. Going on later tonight, we're going to have some snow here with a low of 22 degrees and a winds north at 7 miles per hour. And then later tomorrow, we're going to have some more clouds with a high of 27 degrees and a winds north-northwest, north-northeast at 4 miles per hour. And looking behind me at the UP, we have clouds covering all around. So we're going to start all the way over here at Sault Ste. Marie with 26, Manistee at 29, Escanaba at 28, and down in Menominee it's going to be 27. Moving to our other half, we're going to start with Iron Mountain at 26, Ironwood at 20. All the way up in Houghton it's going to be 25, and back here in Marquette it's 27 and cloudy. Let's look at your week ahead. On Thursday, we're going to have a high of 31, a low of 21, and partially cloudy. On Friday, it's going to be a high of 33, low of 27, and mostly cloudy. And on Saturday, we have a high of 34, low of 29, and mostly cloudy. Well, it's looking like we're going to have a lot of clouds out here today, but I heard somebody lost something shiny out in sports.
Fortunately, that's true. Thanks, Ross. Former Philadelphia 76ers Hall of Famer Allen Iverson reportedly had his hotel room broken into where an estimated $500,000 worth of jewelry was stolen from him. The theft occurred Monday morning at approximately 10:30 a.m. at the Sofitel Hotel in downtown Philly. Iverson was not present in the hotel room at the time of the theft. Suspect is described as a 20-year-old man standing about 6 feet with a slim build, last seen wearing a red shirt, dark pants with black and white sneakers. Allen Iverson, who was a former Rookie of the Year, MVP, 11-time All-Star selection, as well as being inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2016. Checking out some NBA action from yesterday, the Cleveland Cavaliers ended their 7-game losing streak, topping the Pistons 115-100. Before the game, Detroit honored the death of NBA legend Kobe Bryant by coming out for warm-ups in jerseys numbered 8 or 24 with Bryant on the back of them. The Sacramento Kings mounted a 17-point comeback with 2:49 left in the fourth to beat the Timberwolves 133-129 in overtime. The Houston Rockets defeated the Utah Jazz 126-117. Eric Gordon scored his career high of 50 points, going 6 of 11 from deep. The Dallas Mavericks go on the road to defeat the OKC Thunder 107-97 behind Luka Doncic's 29 points and 11 boards. More than half of the official Twitter accounts for NFL teams were hacked yesterday, as well as the league-verified NFL account. The NFL is cooperating with its platform providers and law enforcement in the ongoing investigation. Tweets were sent out from a hacker group, Our Mine, on the verified accounts like Chicago Bears and Green Bay Packers, with messages saying, quote, "Hi, we're back. We are here to show people that everything is hackable," unquote. The tweets had links with information on how to improve your account security. Well,
so obviously you got to protect yourself these days with all your accounts and stuff. And while that is not that great of a way to do it, there's definitely something to be said that everything can be hacked today.
And that's all the time we have today in Public Eye News. I'm Devontae Stein.
And I'm Gail Rydell.
The preceding program was produced by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television, in studios located in Elizabeth and Edgar Hardin Hall.